Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about one of the things that just completely puzzles and baffles me as a strength coach is when people come into the fitness world, in the lifting world, and they say things like, oh yeah, I don't really care about my legs, I don't care about having big legs or training legs, and it's like, what? Now, to a lot of people out there who are listening, that probably sounds reasonable because it's mainly because you're just training to have maybe a certain type of look. You aren't training to be fit or be healthy or athletic or all the other benefits of training. Like you don't care about living longer, you don't care about fighting off cancer, any of that stuff. So it might sound okay to you, but to me, usually I just think that's a really, really, really lazy person. And I mean, I'll even give you guys an example, and this is where I'm going to give credit to someone who I've been critical of in the past, who I've actually had changed my stance on quite a bit in the last year, considerably, and said, you know what, I have no problems with anything this guy's doing. And that's Alex over at Alpha Destiny. I called him on that years ago, dude, you're just being lazy. And all his, his followers, like, he's not lazy, he does this. No, he doesn't train his legs. And he used to use the excuse, oh, I don't want big giant legs, they look disgusting, which was nonsense, because people were like, well, he has big legs. No, he did not have big legs. He had chicken legs. He did. From an athlete's perspective, he did. But then he came out later and said, you know what, guys, I'm going to start squatting and deadlifting and all that more because I'm going to be honest, I was just being lazy. And I want people to let that sink in. Someone who was a proponent of that, and a lot of people followed who had that same mindset, came out eventually and apologized for it and said, hey, I was just being lazy. I mean, that's an apology. When someone says, I'm going to do something different because I was making an excuse, that is an apology. And people forget that. They don't understand that an apology doesn't mean to say you're sorry. Just saying you're sorry isn't an apology, and it's not required in an apology. An apology is admitting there was some issue with your behavior and just changing that behavior. That's an actual apology, and that's what he did. It's an apology. He said, look, I was in the wrong, I was being lazy, I'm going to do better. And he started doing better, right? I haven't checked back in because I haven't watched YouTube Fitness in like 6 months. But that seemed to be the general trend of what he was doing. So, credit where credit is due. But even he admitted, no, it was just laziness. Just laziness. And I see some so-called evidence-based fit pros, even in my own social media, who pull that line. Oh, just the only thing I do for my lower body is hip thrust because I don't care about legs. I mean, they're supposed to be a fitness professional. What's the word fitness mean to you? Does it have anything to do with your physique? No. No. And I can tell you don't look strong and jacked if you have tiny legs. I don't care. But the whole point is, why are they using that word fitness when they really just mean physique? Because fitness to me is someone who is healthy and athletic. What do we define as athletic? The ability to move big heavy weights, the ability to explode, the ability to jump, ability to sprint if you have to, right? Performance. Health and performance, that's what fitness is. It's nothing to do with a physique. Physique is physique. Of course, we get over to athleticism, and let's come over to all of that. Athleticism. You guys do realize that if your goal is to be athletic, to be good at sports, even just at whatever amateur sport you pick up, do you think it's more important to spend more time on your upper body or lower body? Now, in a perfect world, you'd want both, but realistically, your lower body contributes more to sports than your upper body does to most sports. Not all. There are clearly exceptions to the rule, so there we go. They're going to be like, Jason's stupid. He says you should just squat for arm wrestling. Because that's how people hear stuff when you say something. Of course not. But most sports need more lower body strength and power than they need upper. Unless it's a sport to where you're laying or sitting. Okay? And even some of those, things like rowing and stuff, you don't think your lower body contribute to any of that? I think they do. I think they do. Power's in your hips, your glutes. I mean, we can talk about legs. Yes, legs matter. But realistically, where is your power in most sports really deep down located? It's going to be the glutes and the hips. Like, that's what makes an athlete. I'm not saying quads and hamstrings and stuff don't matter, because they clearly do. All that still matters more than your upper body in most sports. So if you don't train your hips and your glutes, and you don't train to be explosive and have an explosive, powerful lower body, you're not athletic. And you're not strong. Because here's the other thing. People can say, well, that guy has a strong bench press. Okay, that is not the same as saying someone is strong. Look, if someone has a 315 bench press and the heaviest lift they're capable of doing is 315 and they're able-bodied, like they're not a para-athlete or something. I mean, all due respect, I've met a guy and actually been at a meet and was one of the judges at a meet where a guy who was in a wheelchair benched 405. I mean, that's a pretty damn good bench press. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That's good, but he couldn't use leg drive. He had no leg drive. Now, people can say, was it flat? No, it wasn't flat back. He was arched. He could get in an arch, but he didn't have leg drive. Still benched 405. All right, that's beastly. But barring a situation like that, an able-bodied person, okay, your biggest lift is 315. Do you think that's strong? I know 105 and 110-pound girls who can deadlift 315. So if the heaviest lift you can do is 315, you're not that strong. People say, but it's his upper body. Well, no. It's how strong are you? Are you a strong person, or are you strong at one lift that uses less than half the muscles in the body? So what, a third of your body is strong? That's not the same as being strong. You're not strong. Someone who's strong can do a pretty wide variety of movements, and they usually need to involve the lower body too. It's where your real strength is. You're not strong. You're not athletic. You're going to suck at sports. People say, well, that's not true because this person and Pete Rose or whoever. It doesn't matter, guys. This is the modern world. Almost all elite athletes in every sport strength train seriously. Okay, we're no longer in that era. There was a time when since hardly anyone did it, it wasn't a requirement. But now, since all the people you're competing against are doing it, it gives a clear advantage. You have to do it. Not optional. You have to strength train. Right? You have to strength train. And in bygone eras, the greats of many sports did strength train. Perfect example comes to mind without me thinking of any other. Mike Tyson, my God. He was a beast in the weight room. Go look up some of his workouts. That guy was legit strong powerlifting level numbers in the gym. Mike Tyson could have walked over and done well at a powerlifting meet. Okay, he trained in the weight room, in addition to just his own genetic gifts at his sport. But I guarantee you his resistance training helped him. Helped him go from being great to being phenomenal. Okay? He was great due to his natural ability. He added all the other training to it. He went from being great to being one of the best of all time ever. Right? And I don't think anyone's going to dispute that latter, his particular sport. And then all the health aspects. You're going to talk about fitness. You talk about being fit and you don't train your lower body hard. You do realize lower body contributes more to health and longevity and fitness than the upper body does, right? Okay. So when people come in and they say stuff like, well, I'm just not going to train my legs. I don't care about my legs. So you don't care about fitness. You don't care about health. You don't care about athleticism. You just want to be pretty. I will never understand that, and I will never respect that. Ever. It's absurd. It's laziness. Sheer laziness. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.